Hi everyone, this is Shannon Shy. Welcome to another installment of Q&A with Shannon about OCD recovery. Thank you everyone for the questions. I really appreciate them, and I hope you all are gaining from this video series. If you have a question for me, you may send it to me by message on Facebook, Instagram, my YouTube channel, or send me an email, shannonshy@gmail.com. Okay, to today's question. No offense intended. Kind of shows you where this is going. But isn't your strategy of telling yourself that OCD thoughts are a false narrative and have no value just really self-reassurance and therefore a compulsion that you should not do? Anonymous. No offense taken. You know, since I published my first book in 2009 and went public with my story about my OCD recovery and my OCD recovery strategy, there have been a handful of people, and I'm talking probably less than five, who have criticized my approach, saying that all I was doing was practicing self-reassurance. And they assert that's a compulsion, and therefore it is the wrong way to recover. I respond a little bit sarcastically and say, well, I know how sick I was. I know what I did to recover and how I did it. And I know where I am now. OCD doesn't affect me at all. So if I did it wrong, I'm okay with that. All right, seriously. The objective in every episode is to deprive the disorder of what it craves. It craves your emotional, mental, or physical response. Said in another way, the objective is to prevent the response when you are exposed. Yes, seeking reassurance from another person is a compulsion, and getting somebody to tell you that everything is okay, that you don't have to worry, that you don't have to go back and check, etc., that makes the disorder stronger, right? You're relying on somebody else. It feeds the disorder. If we followed the logic of this criticism of self-reassurance to its extreme, that would mean that we could never remind ourselves that we have the disorder. It would mean that we could never remind ourselves that our therapist told us that we can't respond when these thoughts come to us. It would be absurd to say that that is the wrong way to recover. I believe that what separates reassurance seeking from another person, which is a compulsion and feeds the disorder, from self coaching, is the sufferer's personal conclusion that they don't need to respond and that they won't respond based on the fact that they know they have OCD. A hint that OCD is behind the source of a thought. And by the way, you don't have to be sure that it is. And understanding, evaluating the consequences of a choice to give in to a compulsion versus a choice to deprive the disorder, to resist giving in to a compulsion. Regardless of the technique used in managing a thought, and there are a few out there, for example, some say just assume the thought is true. Some say tell yourself maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I chose to say it was a false narrative and it had no value. But what ties all of those techniques together is this idea that you can be indifferent to the thought and you need to prevent the response. That is, you need to resist giving in to the compulsion. It is that personal decision by the sufferer in the moment that they're not going to give in to the compulsion. They're not going to respond. They're not relying on anybody else in the moment, right? They understand what's going on. They've evaluated the situation and say, no, I cannot give into this response. And if I do, I don't get better, right? I coached myself through the pain and the agony of having the doubt and the anxiety and the fear to prevent giving in to the response. And I got better. I got way better. So I hope this is helpful to you. Have an awesome day. I think we are now 2 days into summer of 2024. Time flies. Enjoy it. See ya. Bye.